I think lifestyle entrepreneurship is really taking a look at ourselves, right? Where our talents lie. Where's the thing that 10 hours feels like 5 minutes because we're so excited about the topic that we would do it regardless if we get paid or not get paid. MNM Institute, basically, that's where we are on our campus. What's that all about? What I'm trying to focus on with students coming to MNM is really establish what the future is going to look like. In the sense of, we all have a passion inside us, but we might be off on a career path simply because as we studied our studies in the past, be it a degree, be it an education of any form, it's usually based on what work opportunities are out there, how much money can I make in future, right? And majority of the current youth forgotten about really what would I love to do with my life, basically. You know? So for me it was important to put a program together that gives the student the opportunity to reflect again, regardless what education they have. Does it really link with my enjoyment, my future, my happiness, what I really like to do, so my life becomes a message basically for the future. Building a legacy rather than just building a career. I'm not from the education sector, so I've been involved all my life in building companies and having my own companies, having my own employees. And I sort of had a vision that my ideal lifestyle is work as hard as possible, and in the age of 45 I find retirement and then I can do all the things I want to do. Reality looks really different. You may have all the money, you may have all the trappings of success, and then you're finishing at an early age and you think you can do the things you want to do. But it isn't really that case. It's more sort of, even though if you retire, you're still looking for something that expresses you. And if you don't have that outlet, retirement becomes really boring as well. So for me then it was, how can I keep myself active? Because I believe as long as my mind is active, my body stays active, and I'm gonna have a healthy life basically. So I started thinking, what can I really offer? And I looked at the vocational education sector, also some lecturing for higher education, and I took that up in the belief I've got a lot to offer, and I walked into classrooms, you know, expecting that everybody was waiting for me so I could help them to build their future. But we were so stuck on a curriculum that we really didn't have the opportunity to bring across what's really of value in the real world. It was sort of more sort of a tick and flick mentality from an administrative point. How we're gonna collect all this evidence of students to please some government department basically. So that made me think, if I would have a program myself, what would it look like, you know? Or what would be the objective, be the outcomes for the participants themselves. So I sat down and started writing a program, and then I tried to package it into some kind of format, and that's when I came up with the 4 C's: context, critical, controlled, communication. And then obviously once I started writing it, I could envisage it in my head as well. What is the environment of this kind of school and what kind of students would I try to attract? And before I knew that, I had my submission with the government to open up my own college basically. And that's really how it started at the beginning, you know. We're dealing with adults, right? So especially in the vocational sector, the typical student we have at the MNM Institute, or participant I should say, is either somebody who was fed that lie that being a good citizen, being a good person means you educate yourself to a degree level and then you find a job 9 to 5 and you keep working towards your holiday every year on a, you know, over your lifespan working towards a pension when you're eventually allowed to do what you want to do, right? So that is really not what we should be doing. What we really should be saying is, individually with each student, what are you really interested in, right? What skills are you bringing to the table, and build a curriculum around that. So rather than working with case studies of famous companies out there, which we can all find on the internet and don't really have to think it through, right? Each student becomes a case study telling their context for their life, basically the objective, the dream, which we call the rainbow, right? And then reverse engineer it, how could I achieve that goal? And that becomes the case study for the student, basically. In the past, we had to deliver 2 diploma programs, right, to achieve the outcome I was trying to achieve, basically. So I had to make a combination between a marketing diploma and a management diploma to give us, in the marketing diploma, the idea was we establish a brand, we establish a vision, we're establishing a communication strategy, an image, basically, right? And then in the management diploma, we were trying to say, okay, well, this is the vehicle, how is it going to run? And how we're going to maintain it and all that kind of stuff. So now the government has found actually a model, right, which they're calling the Marketing Communications Diploma, which does everything we did in the past, but it's actually under one umbrella. So it's a good move by the government, I believe, right? But a typical diploma in the past was 8 subjects, and now we're running 17 subjects to achieve that single diploma, basically. At the beginning of the course, we run what's called the ProU, right? And this is probably the biggest development for the students right at the beginning of the course. Because for some, they're coming here and we're not expecting them to sort of just start with the curriculum straight away. We give them 1 term, basically, where we're running through models that helps them to identify what really is my passion, right? And what would it involve in future, basically, for me to live that lifestyle of your dreams. In that, if you want to call it subject, or in the block, which we call the C1 context, the vision for the future, right? That is really where we're looking at the personal values, right? Because we're not born with the values, they're educated onto you, having 37 nationalities on campus, each of them having different values, basically. We need to incorporate it in their future program as well. So it is really, we look at the values, past achievements, like I said before, future achievements, and really just paint the picture what your future looks like. We're not interested at this stage how you're going to achieve it, right? And this is something which takes a bit of re-engineering the way most people think, because we usually have a great idea and we straight away start evaluating it. And through that evaluation process, what I found is we're actually cutting the big vision down. Because from where the students right now, they say, well, I haven't got the money, so I can't do that. I haven't got the knowledge, I can't do that. I haven't got the visa, I can't do that. And they're destroying the real dream to bring it into their comfort zone, basically, right? The problem with that is they might get started on working on that minimized goal, right? But the struggle at the beginning is the same as for a big goal. But the only difference being the small goal makes them realize the effort isn't worth it and they're giving up on it. So it is very important for us that the students that looks more long term, writing a biography of their life rather than figuring out how I'm going to achieve it all right now. With that in hand then, which takes about usually 3 months with the students, right? We invite the students to what we call the Rainbow Night, basically, where the students goes in front of all the other students and participants in the college and presents their vision for their future. By that stage, we also have issued them with an iPad. They have created a vision video. They already know how to work with our movies. They have got some, without realizing, they have got some knowledge already how to make presentations, how to debate an idea, right? And that outcome of that is really a vision video they have to present to the campus so the other mentors and other students around him see really the objective for this particular student for the rest of the training. Once we've done that one, then we're moving into the critical stage, which we call the C2 space. In the C2, it's really, we're doing a business environmental analysis, lots of research, right? First of all, defining our own product in the form of a marketing mix, look at the industry trends, where is the sitting, is the opportunity, who is my target market, right? And we're developing an idea really where my product fits or my service fits, right? And then we're moving on to scoping a startup in the C3 space really. We're starting to look with the planning parts of it, the controlled environment. So we're building the future plans, like a wireframe for the website, social media strategy for the 12 months, financial plan for the 12 months, communication strategy in terms of marketing for 12 months. So there's a lot of planning done with the research analyzers they have from the C2 space. And once that's all done, then we ask the students to present a 12-month startup model to us, right, in front of a panel, right? And once we have, the 12-month scope, schedule for the startup, we have a financial plan for the 12-month startup, we have a wireframe for the image and the context of their website and social media, right? Then we let them in to the C4 space. And C4 space is basically communication. So rather than waiting until the end of the course, right, within the course program itself, the students will build their personal website, which we provide the domain for them, right? They will start the social media pages to get brand recognition in the market already, or some of the students actually starting to produce their products and starting to sell it to the market, and other students really, may start to cultivate a blog or a YouTube channel with the idea to have some audience in future, but we start building it within the environment of the campus with the support of the mentors, because at the moment, at the first 12 months, it's rather an emotional challenge than it is, finding the finance and all that kind of stuff. So we want to be at that stage really just purely mentors, coaches, where the students brings the questions to the table, brings the fears to the table, have some accountability during that period, which we can measure based maybe on a project management tool, a financial plan they had. Where did you say you're gonna be? Where are you actually? How much did it cost? What do you have to adjust in your plan? And that process allows us to collect all the evidence we basically need in the real world rather than in a classroom environment. You guys, through what I have known for you and the collaboration we had in the past, basically, I feel really comfortable that you're not going to send me somebody who doesn't know what we're trying to achieve with them. And that's really the main task of my agents, to send me that kind of candidate, right? When I say that type of candidate, it might be somebody who really wants to do something with their life, has no idea what it is, and we can help him to find it in the ProU, right? Or somebody who maybe has been working for 5-6 years in a certain industry field and finds this company in my life. And you guys are really good in identifying this kind of candidate for me. And then that's really, I want to work much closer with you guys, and my ideal world would be really to have even less agents and maintain a collaboration where we really get the message across, what we're really doing, who we really are, how we really can help you before a candidate comes to the campus itself and starts participating in the program.